There was a point where I just wanted to play football. That was my goal. That's what I wanted to do. Powerlifting was just something to do so I could get stronger. Where I'm from, it's the South in the States. That's football. That's football country, man. Whenever you grow up, that's what you want to do. When I was a kid, I was just like, I want to be in the NFL. I would tell my mom, I'm gonna buy you a house because I'm gonna be in the NFL. As we can see now, I'm not in the NFL. You stop growing at some point, and I stopped growing in like 5th grade. My first meet, I was 12 years old. There was only me and one other guy in the weight class. So it was either first or second place. I lost, and as soon as I put that final deadlift down, I sprinted to the restroom and I cried. I was just bawling my eyes out. I expected so much more from myself, as I do to this day. My dad did put a lot of pressure on me. He started me off in sports young. At 5 years old, I was playing soccer, and whatever sport I was able to do growing up, I was trying to do it. He pushed me, and he was like, all right, like, you can do this, you can do this. I think he was trying to give me that motivation, that encouragement, because I was a smaller kid. He wanted me to realize that just because I was small, I was able to do things. That basically stayed with me growing up. My junior year of high school, I'm doing pretty good in powerlifting. I tell my dad, I don't want to play football anymore. I just want to take this powerlifting thing seriously, because at this point, I had stopped growing. I'm probably around 145 to 150 pounds. So I'm thinking, all right, let me just go in and just go all the way for it. I go to high school nationals, I win that. I go to worlds, I get second place. And I see, oh my gosh, I can go to college for powerlifting. I get recruited, I get there, and I see all of these people that are, of course, the best of the best. And at that time, I'm not the best of the best. And at that point, I'm like, I want to be like them. I think I can be like them, and I will be like them. The University Cup in 2019, probably my first time going outside of the country. Small town boy in Mississippi, going to a different country is a huge thing. I'm arriving in Estonia. I go to the venue, and I'm like, oh, this is different. I have bleachers, all the judges are in like official outfits. I didn't know if I was going to win, wasn't going into it expecting anything crazy to break any record.
World junior record on his second leg. 2 white lights, and he goes on the board with another world record.
Asking for the world junior record. In this instance,
2 white lights, he gets it.
The total that I ended up hitting was 737 and a half. Whenever I got done with that competition, I went home, I looked at my phone, and it was just, it had blown up. I remember the caption vividly that King of the Lifts posted. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is my first time being posted on any type of social media. And from that point on, I had people looking at me and expecting certain things. And that's the turning point of my entire career. Having this expectation of your potential was a huge, huge mental burden that I had whenever I was in college. So many people were just like, oh, he's gonna be the best. He's gonna be better than this person. He's gonna be better than this person. He probably could be like the best powerlifter ever. And hearing all of that, I'm just like, everyone believes in me. And what if I don't do it? Then I let all of these people down. That was my biggest mental barrier. And then hernia happens. On this pause squat day, I'm warming up for it. I have 180 kilos loaded, something I've hit millions of times. And I go down and I just feel like a pop. I sit down and I'm like, I'm like in excruciating pain, like something hurts. So I go to the emergency room, and then they're like, yeah, you had a hernia. So you can either we can push it back in and it'll be fine, but I probably would not lift ever again heavy. And I did not want to hear that. But the other option we have is you can get surgery on it and it shouldn't pop out anymore. And I was just like, all right, we'll see. And I was like, well, will I be able to lift after like I have the surgery? And they're like, yeah, you should be able to lift after. We don't know how much you'll be able to lift because you're definitely different than a normal person that has this type of injury. But we'll see, like it could be possible you can still lift again. So still at this point, I'm just like, all right, I'll probably will never be the same, but I mean, there's no harm in trying. So I ended up getting the surgery a week later. They tell me that I probably won't be fully back to 100% strength within a year. So that's definitely damaging to hear. You know, someone that has high expectations, everyone else has high expectations of you. You're just like, well, basically I've just let all of these people down. That definitely sent me into a mental spiral. I can say probably for the next year, I definitely was not myself mentally. Like, I was in a basement for like a month. Like, no sunlight. And to be honest, the only thing that pulled me out of that hole was my now fiance.
If you don't have a strong foundation, it can really fall apart so easily. And I feel like that's what he lacked the most before he was the best in the world. Recovering from hernia surgery after Virginia Pro, he was just like very uncertain of where he wanted to go, and he kind of wanted to quit. And he was very much like 90% towards quitting. I was like, if you don't want to do it, I'm not going to tell you no, but I am going to let you know that I feel like you have so much more in you. I think you could be one of the best people in the whole world if you really put more effort into this, and if you let me help you to get to that those goals that you have in mind. Like, that's the first thing I told him. I was like, you're not at college anymore. Like, you're not young anymore. If you want to do this, you got to do it. Like, you can't just kind of try. You got to like go on all in on it. And he started like actually taking care of himself and eating more. He was like eating once a day maybe, and like it was like donuts. He would just do his top set and then just like leave. And I was like, what are you doing? You want to be good?
She was like, you have to stop doing dumb things if you want to be the best. You have to stop being the person you are and become a better version of yourself if you want to achieve the goals you want. You have to put forth progress. You have to actually want to do better and do better if you want to be better. And I think that like that talk stays with me all the time. I definitely don't tell her that enough, but that conversation probably saved my life. And I'm grateful for it. I love her. Yeah. I didn't know I was gonna start crying. Holy shit.
Of course, the front runners, the world's debut in the 74 kilo class.
Going into Worlds, the goal was just to prove that I was the best, to show that I can have a good total and win Worlds. I know that there was someone that was gonna be there.
But he will be met on the platform by the current world record holder, Shell Beckland.
People don't know this, but I've been a huge Shell Backlund fan because I was equipped lifter and I saw my equipped lifters like Oleg and then Shell Backlund. And those are the people that I looked up to before I even knew who Taylor Atwood was. I will say that I was very afraid because Shell was putting kilos on his total from meet to meet. He put 15 kilos on, then 15 more kilos on. I just wanted to make sure that I can lift to the standard and be able to compete against someone that was close. It's not like that we had this huge gap. If I were to miss a lift or two lifts, he was right there.
What's the top end of Shell today? Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Perkins.
The goal was just not to get outpulled by Shell. And so we could have just taken the second and been fine and just walked away and just not taken the third. But we don't know. I have a lot of faith in my competitors. I thought Shell could have been capable of 350 on the day. And so if he would have pulled 350, I would have needed that last deadlift. So doing that wasn't a mistake. I think people say that, oh, well, Sheffield is based off of how much you can break the world record by. So why would you break the world record by that amount? To me, all I'm saying in my head is, okay, we just have to work harder for Sheffield. There's nothing given, everything is earned. I think some people want the easy route, but it means more if you take the harder route. It means more to me. I think it'll mean more to everyone else. That just means I have to do something that's gonna make me a 74 that's remembered forever. That's all I have to do. I can promise you this, if I don't win, I still will be the best 74 the world has ever seen. But winning Sheffield, I just think that just puts a nail on the coffin, and it just shows that I am different from not just people in my weight class, but people in the sport of powerlifting.